position to position through a network of professional contacts, or you're fresh out of college with only a short and sweet work history, if you've never put together a resume, the process can seem challenging. Today, we're going to go over 5 basic elements of a resume to help you get started. The wonderful thing about a resume is its flexibility to communicate your strengths, skills, and experiences in a way that is captivating and relevant to each of your target readers. This gives you the freedom to highlight different attributes when applying for different positions. Of course, this can be done in many ways. However, there are a few basic elements that are almost universal in any circumstance. Let's go over the 5 basic elements of a resume. Element 1, contact info. If a recruiter stumbles upon your resume or a friend of yours sends your resume to his or her boss, you want the reader to be able to reach you when a position opens up. At minimum, you need to list a phone number and an email address. Worried about privacy? Well, that's a fair point. You can set up a Google Voice number dedicated to just your job hunt. While we're on the topic of contact info, make sure your email address gives off a modern image. By that, we mean don't use an old AOL address or one from your internet provider like Comcast or Time Warner. By these addresses, you are sending a subtle message that you are not tech savvy and resistant to change. In another video, we'll do an in-depth look at using online tools like email, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn for your job hunt. But suffice it for now, you should stick to the big 3 web email services: gmail.com, yahoo.com, and outlook.com. Also, make sure your email handle gives you the professional image that you're looking for. It should be your name and little else. All else being equal, whom would you call for an interview? Richard Buckner at outlook.com or Happy Giggle Bubbles 7456 at AOL.com. Element number 2, objective. Your resume needs to be sent out with an aim in mind. Seasoned recruiters and headhunters can tell if your resume was slapped together with gaffer tape and chewing gum, or if you've crafted each component with purposeful intent. Having an objective section in your resume not only informs the reader of your aspiration, but also helps you clarify your direction for creating the rest of your document. Make sure your resume objective matches the job title that you are applying for. Be clear about the roles and responsibilities you're seeking, and make it relevant to the reader by briefly stating why your training and experiences have led you to pursue this next career move. Element number 3, education. Naturally, this is the section where you list your academic experiences. Start with the highest degree you've earned and work backwards chronologically. If your GPA is higher than 3.0, by all means include it. Make sure you list any academic honors you have received. If there were any classes or projects that would be relevant to the prospective position, then make sure you give some attention to describing your participation and your results. List the year you graduated from each school. If you attended college but did not graduate, list the years you were enrolled. If you did not attend college, list your high school and any additional training you may have received at a trade or vocational school. Element number 4, work history. This is the meat of your resume. There are a few styles you can employ to enumerate this section. Among all the styles, the most important thing to remember is this. When mentioning your responsibilities, don't forget to also mention your results. Your prospective employer wants to know not only what you did, but also how well you did it. In this section, you can also list any prominent volunteer positions you have held. If you do so, make sure you title the section as Relevant Experience rather than Employment Experience. For each organization you've been a part of, be sure to list the title you held, the name of the organization, years you were there, and of course, your responsibility and results. Element number 5, specific skills. This section may be the easiest to tailor to each position that you are applying. Here, you want to quickly list, usually in bullet form, any skills that you have that you believe would be germane to the job in question and your level of proficiency in each skill. Don't be afraid to list a skill that you know, but you are not well practiced. Employers know that you can't be a master at all skills, so showing honesty only goes to help your image and also highlights the strengths of the skills in which you are well practiced. As an example for this section, let's say you work in graphic design. You may want to list the programs that you've used: Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. If you are a developer, then you may want to list the platforms you've built on: iOS, Android, and Windows. Remember, the most important thing here is to list the skills that are relevant to your prospective employer. We'll cover these elements and the styles of resumes in more detail later. For now, this list of 5 basic elements of a resume should give you enough to start thinking about how to organize your set of skills and experiences into a well-crafted marketing document that will land you an interview. Before you dive into your word processor and start feverishly typing away, make sure you've given some thought and planning to these resume elements. When it comes to your resume, careful planning will help you get noticed. If you have any other tips you'd like to share with our audience of job hunters, or if you have feedback for us on how we can improve, please send us an email, a tweet, a Facebook message, or just give us a good old-fashioned phone call. For Zoom Resumes, I'm John Lamb. Thank you for watching our videos and reading our blogs.